Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It is another beautiful rainy day here in Washington State. Yeah, it's kind of what we're known for up here, isn't it? At least this time of year, for about 75% of the year, this is kind of what we're known for. Yeah. Anyways, hopefully you guys have been well. I know I haven't posted anything in quite a while. It's actually the longest I've gone between postings on the channel since I started the channel, so that's kind of a bummer and not something I'm trying to do anytime soon again. But yeah, here we are. Here we sit, and I'd like to bring you guys up to date on some things and sort of tell you what's been going on and then what we're going to be doing moving forward. Well, it's been an interesting couple months. Usually, this is going to seem like I'm getting a little off topic, but bear with me. Usually, we get a nice fall transition, right? Between summer and winter. We get this nice fall transition where things are nice and pretty and beautiful, and the days are slowly getting shorter. It's all perceived, right? It's not like this cycle changes year to year. It's pretty consistent, but it's all in how you perceive it. And so, anyways, we have this little fall transition, and this year it seems like Washington, at least this part of Washington that I live in, skipped it. It skipped the fall transition and went straight to winter. The days seemed to, again, this is all perceived, the days seemed to get exponentially shorter. Like overnight, it seemed like the days were half as long as they were a month ago. And it just got to me. It got to me worse than it's ever got to me. And I've lived up here for most of my life. And usually you just stay busy with recreation and stuff, and you kind of deal with it. But that wasn't exactly possible this year. So anyways, this year the weather, the reduced sunlight, the shorter days, it all sort of got together to bring a brother down, so to say. Yeah. So it was a bit of a difficult past couple months. Plus having some family stuff going on, and that's never easy, but it all sort of came together to make for a very unproductive month on the channel. That's what I'm trying to get to, I guess, in a very long, roundabout way. Yeah, it made for a very unproductive couple months, or month and a half, whatever. The content wasn't great. The stuff that I was putting out wasn't great. Yeah, it's just a struggle. The last thing I found I wanted to do was film a video for the channel, and talk at a camera. It was the last thing that came to my mind. So, but things are looking better now. It always helps to just step back and sort of assess the situation. Even if it's your own situation, step back and assess the situation. Try to look at it from an outsider's perspective, and get that other view, and maybe that'll help dig you out of your rut. If that makes sense. God, does that make sense? Anyways, things are looking better. I made myself aware of the fact that I was letting all these things affect me, and I think that awareness helped me through it. That's what I was trying to say. Boy, if you're still watching, you guys are awesome. But so, all that being said, things are looking up. I'm feeling better. Things in life are going better. Things have settled down, and yeah, we're looking at winter with different eyes, different perspective now. So, got plenty of stuff that I'd love to do this winter that I'd like to accomplish, that I will accomplish this winter. You know, as far as content goals for the channel, stuff like that. So, yeah, thanks for sticking with it, and I really appreciate y'all sticking around throughout all this weirdness. So, all right, all that being said, let's talk about something a little more fun. Let's talk about knives. So, I carried for the month of November the Para 3 lightweight in CTS BD1N with these Applied Weapons Tech scales and a Lynch Northwest clip. Nice little build here. So yeah, carried it for the whole month of November, and I've got some closing thoughts on it, seeing as we're already in December. It's the 4th of December, and I have already since been carrying a new knife. So yeah, let me give you some closing thoughts on this knife, as it sits, as is, with the scales and everything like that. You know, let me just, because that's how I carried it for the month, and that's how I tested it. I didn't get to test it as much as I wanted to test it, but I did get to do some testing, and this is how I tested it, just like this in this configuration. So we're going to talk about the blade steel, and we're going to talk about the scales, and we'll talk about the clip briefly. So let's get into it. Yeah, nice little build. Real lightweight scales, milled out on the insides. I'm going to see if I can get a shot of that for you guys. I don't think so. But on the inside, what you're not seeing in the shadow is that it is milled out. So these are extremely lightweight aluminum scales. And yeah, this paired up with a titanium clip, it makes for a really lightweight package. Yeah, so let's talk about the blade steel briefly. CTS BD1N, not my favorite blade steel, as it turns out. Really easy to maintain, easy to sharpen. But yeah, you can see some rolls going on the edge out toward the tip there. Yeah, so those are sort of a lot of the reason why I don't like this blade steel so much. Is it lacks in toughness and it lacks in edge retention, which I guess isn't too much of a surprise. Yeah, this stuff isn't necessarily known to be really edge retentive or tough, so it's not too much of a surprise that it isn't. So yeah, the rolls that I have right here out toward the tip are from making wood shavings out of a piece of firewood, which is pretty soft wood. So I wasn't exactly impressed that the edge rolled as bad as it did. Now, I'd rather roll than chip, obviously, but still, that's not exactly heavy use, and I didn't do much of it. And yeah, we got some damage to the edge. So yeah, that being said, sharpening is super easy. Like I said, super easy. I found that I didn't have to use anything other than an 800 grit stone to do any kind of work to this. Now I might have to use like a 600 now that it's got these big rolls on it. Well, we'll see. I'll definitely do some sharpening with this. I have a few knives that need sharpening, so I might do just a big group sharpening video. That's kind of my idea. And this guy will be one of them that needs some doctoring up. So yeah, it's kind of my thoughts on the blade steel. Not my favorite. There are plenty of other options out there for similar prices. Like you can get the Para 3 in so many flipping configurations now, in so many blade steels, sprint runs, exclusives, you name it. They're doing it. So I don't know, save your money for a couple more weeks and pick up something that you really want, that you're really going to enjoy. Because the only thing I found that I didn't like about this whole build is the blade steel. I was like, man, if I could just change out the blade, like throw the CPM S45 VN blade on here, and it'd be like a perfect little build. But, you know, yeah, CTS BD1N, not my favorite steel. Okay, that is it for the blade steel. Let's talk about the scales. We got Applied Weapons Tech scales, so let me give you some close-ups on these bad boys. So the Cerakote, we've got some wear marks in obvious places under the pocket clip, up near here, where it sits in my pocket. Shares a pocket with a key bar, so you got two pieces of aluminum banging around into each other. There's going to be some wear and tear. I think it looks good, to be honest. These are flat dark earth scales, if that doesn't come through on camera. So mild texturing on these things, as you just saw, and yeah, pretty nice build overall. Let's talk pocket clip. Yeah, this is probably my favorite pocket clip I've ever come across. Lynch Northwest clip. It's a replacement for the wire clip. I rocked the wire clip for the first week that I carried this thing, but then I switched over to this bad boy. It's in the blacksmith finish, and it's just really, really nice, and you know, nice titanium pocket clip. So yeah, that's that. That is that for this. Okay, what are we carrying? What have I been carrying for the past 4 days? And what are we going to be carrying for the rest of the month? I have been carrying for the past 4 days the Manix 2, which has been in my collection for just about a year now. And it hasn't really got too much carry time. It hasn't really got too much use. Excuse me. It hasn't really got too much use. The use that it has got has been heavy, and this thing is handled like a champ. So I'm curious to do some further testing on it. It's in CPMS 30V, if you didn't catch that. Just a standard Manix 2, all blacked out, which I like. Yeah, alright, so this is what we're going to be rocking for the month of December. I was originally going to test a different knife, but I'm going to move that. I was originally going to test a different knife, but I'm going to move that forward to next month. And because I've been wanting to do this for a while, I've been wanting to carry and test this and give the channel my thoughts on the Manix 2, because I think it's one of Spyderco's better models. So yeah, we'll be talking about that, and you'll be seeing this on the channel and on my Instagram plenty this month. Instagram is the same as the channel. It's at EvergreenEDC, and I post all my photography on there and stories and stuff like that in between videos. So if you want to go over there and check that out, it's at EvergreenEDC. Yeah. Alright guys, I think that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed, hopefully you got something out of it. Sorry for the lack of content, but at the same time, you know, hopefully my explanation explains things. But yeah, thanks for the continued support of the channel. It means the world. Thanks for sticking around if you have been sticking around. And, you know, better things are to come. So, alright. See you guys in the next one.